How's it going? Welcome to today's video. As you can see, the Lexus is sitting taller than me right now because it is up on the lift. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get some work going, I'll show you what all I'm doing. I am doing a control arm sway bar overhaul right now. So right now they're sitting on all the stock parts. It is sitting at 292,000 miles flat. I have a new set of tires that I'm going to be putting on there, and I want to make sure that all the components are going to be good to do an alignment, to do it right, to keep it lasting, yada yada, you name it. So this is going to be a multi-part video. I'm going to do the back end stuff first, and I'm going to move on to the front end. It's going to be the same introduction for all of it, but I'm going to go ahead, start removing the tires. I've got my 1/2 inch drive impact right here with a 21mm socket on it. That's big enough to take off my lug nuts. I'll go ahead and hit those. For today's adventures, I'm going to start with the sway bar links and the sway bar bushings in the back. So I have all of that apparatus here, all the sway bar links here, all the bushings here. I'm going to go ahead, take off the front skid plate now so I can access that, and then I'll get working on it. You can see my skid plate here is all old and rusted. Doesn't even hold a bolt in here anymore because it's so rusted out. But I'm going to go ahead and take this one out. There's one up here, and drop it out. As you can see here, my sway bar bushings look decent. I just wanted to replace them for the fact that they're only $3 on Rock Auto, something like that. So I threw them into my cart. That side's got a bit more stuff comes up, old oil it looks like maybe. So regardless, I'm going to go ahead and drop that down now. I'll figure out what bolt size that is, take it down, and then I'll get working on the links over here. My 12 volt impact here, 14mm socket. Nice and dirty and rusty, but it comes off, so I'll go ahead and do that all the way around. The sway bar drops down just like that, which is giving me flashbacks to when I had to drop this to replace the alternator, which is way up in there. That was a nightmare. I really hope I never have to do that again. But regardless, that's down. I'm going to pop these little anchors off, if I can get them. There we go. Take off the old bushing, see how she's doing. A little oily and sludgy inside, but all things considered, not too bad. Like I said, just wanted to do that for the sake of getting them replaced. Might as well do it with the links. The other side does have a little bit of cracking, like you can see here and here, but I'm not super concerned about it because I'm replacing them now. I got Moog branded front sway bar links, so I have one sitting over there, one sitting over here. I'll go ahead, pop it open, take a look on the inside. The thing that I find most interesting about these is that they have actual ball joints on the end. So these come pre-greased. It's got a hex head in the end, so you hold the hex head, you loosen this side right here, crank it with a wrench, go ahead and take it off. So that's what I'm going to do. I found that a 7/32 Allen key fits inside of this hole, at least for this one. Maybe it's rusted or full of dirt, which it is, but maybe that's why that one fits. Same deal goes for the bottom, same deal goes for the other side. I'm going to hold it in here with that. I'm going to crack it with a crescent wrench, and then I'm going to get both sides at least cracked loose. I'll throw up the sway bar once again, secure it up there, and then take out the links. On second thought, this is slowly but surely loosening. Because of the location of this and how close it is to the shock right here and how hard it is to access, I'm actually just going to drop the whole sway bar and then remove those bottom pieces. So if you're following this along, you can do it kind of however. That's just how I'm going to do it. I was actually able to wedge in the 6mm Allen key, so I'm using that. I'm using my crescent wrench, holding this, cranking this counterclockwise. This side is done. Got that nut off. Going to go ahead and get the other side off. The other one came out as well. I had to do the same thing. I started with a 7/32 Allen key, and then I moved on to the 6mm. I don't know if it was just dirt, dust deposits in there, or whatever. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to sit my phone down here, and I'm going to pull out my sway bar. See, it's just hanging right there since it's got the bushings off. There she is. Those old ball joints that I was telling you about, you can see that they're just completely blown out. There is no sign of grease in there whatsoever. They still pivot pretty well, but for obvious reasons, the fact that it's hemorrhaging grease like that, I'd like to have them replaced. So I'm going to go ahead and take these ones off. These ones take the same size hardware and everything. Just pop it off right there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick my Allen key in there. You can see it's been hit with PP Blaster. That's why it's all wet. That's why my hands look like that, because all the dirt, grime, grease, and oil is coming off. But I'll go ahead, I'll hold this in place. I'll unscrew this. Do the same thing on both sides. Both sets of sway bar links are out now. See the one here. You can see the inside of the ball joint there. Listen to that sound too. So that one's destroyed. This top piece right here, also destroyed. This one over here. Bottom seems to be pretty sealed. Top is not. So, here are the old bushings for the sway bar. I'm going to go ahead and pop the new bushings onto the sway bar and then install it up into the frame. I've got my new bushings right here. You can see they've got an open side on here. So it just goes right around the sway bar. I'll go ahead, hook them on, mount on the anchor bolts right there, just loosely connect it so that I've got room to swivel it around a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and tighten it down. I also cleaned up the underside a little bit where it mounts with acetone. I also cleaned up the sway bar a little bit so there's no dirt trapped in there. I'll go ahead and secure it up now. As you can see now, I've got the bright blue bushings fit into there, so they fit in nice and snug. I've got my spot up here in the spindle, and then my spot down here where it actually fastens into the sway bar. I'm going to go ahead and clean those up a little bit, and then I'll fit in the sway bars. There's one for the left, one for the right. Two different sizes. As you can see, they come out one size and another. So I've got the other one sitting over there on the tire. Let's go ahead and get that cleaned up and put in. I've got the new link fastened in there. You can tell because it's nice and shiny and nothing else underneath of here is except for what's been hit with oil. So I'll go ahead, I'll put those nuts on the end. You can see it's got the 6mm cutout for the hex head to fit into there. So I'll go ahead and hold that. I'll tighten down over here. It's a 16mm nut that goes onto it, by the way, in case you didn't know or you were curious. So I'll go ahead, fasten that on now on both sides. I went ahead, tightened down the bolts, top and bottom. See, it's in there now nice and snug. It is not going anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead, finish tightening this down right here for the bushings. Yeah, 14mm there. It's actually 17mm here. I lied. I said 16 earlier. Nice and tight under there now. Holds on. I can put some weight on it. Don't notice any substantial movement, which means that we are good and it's time to move on to the back. Moving on to the back now, it's a similar setup to the front, except this top part is kind of a little tower. Doesn't poke through the side like the other one. It goes through the side on this side, down underneath, and then it's a goofy shaped sway bar because it has to clear the axle right there. But I'm going to go ahead and just loosen up these top pieces right here. And then I'll go ahead and take off these down here. This up here is 12mm, so I'll go ahead, undo this little nut right here, do the same on both sides. I took this off the top, the nut fastened onto here, compressed this bushing down onto this little plate right here. See, it's another washer bushing, and then a kind of cupped end here. I held onto this while I was undoing that, so that gave me a bit of stability. So, other side. Other side is disconnected. You can see it's nice and loose there. I'll go ahead. I don't know what bolt size it is down there to take off those bushings / anchor arms, whatever you want to call them, but I'll figure that out and I'll let you know. It looks like a 12mm socket fits onto here just nice, so that's what I'm going to use. Also, look at some of this rust under here. Is that disgusting or what? Yeah. The sway bar has been dropped down. I took off the little shackle that holds it on there. It's off on the other side too. I should be able to work it down. Just kind of like that. And then that'll give me access to just disconnect the old link, put on the new one. I'll go ahead, I'll hold that with the Allen key. I'll undo this nut right here. This, like I said, is a 12mm, so that comes off like so. This right here is either 16 or 17, I can't remember. I mixed it up before. But I'll undo that now. Hold it in, probably a 6mm Allen key as well. We'll see. So that inside piece is completely stripped out, so it's time to break out the angle grinder. I'm going to go ahead and try to cut it right here and hopefully not go too deep into the sway bar, but we'll see. Also, Colby's here now, so I've got an extra set of hands. Hopefully that'll speed things up. As you can see, we took the grinder to the old ones. That's really what the best way to remove them was, so that was a fun process.
If you're going to grind them on the side of the bushings one. You can see where I cut them. Because even if you do it on the side with the nut, I mean, I guess you could do them on either side, but it's a little bit easier here because it kind of gives you a little bit of a handle to hold it down so you can get a cutoff wheel in it. So that's pretty much all I did.
Yeah, it's a stupid process because it's an odd design, but
It is dumb.
it had to be done. We're going to go ahead and fit on the other ones. They kind of fit on the same way that the old ones came off. As it turns out, Rock Auto sent me 2 different kinds of Moog 84069, I believe, part numbers. See, these are the newer style ones, it looks like, so they go onto there. It's a smaller piece design. And then over here, this one's closer to the original design. I'm going to go ahead and put them both on since the other ones are all chopped in half and I don't really have another option, but eventually I'll get around to replacing them so that they're both even. I've got new sway bar arm bushings in here. I'm going to go ahead and just put those on here, and then I'm going to refasten them up here. A little lollipop here. But I've got these slightly snugged down, not all the way though. I'm going to get this fastened to where it should be first, and then I'm going to tighten everything all the way down. On the driver's side with this style, I looked online. This is how you're supposed to do it, it says. So I made sure I tightened this down all the way. This is in here real snug. I'm going to fill this up with grease, and I'm going to do the same thing on the passenger side. Grab the grease gun and get a hold of that. Went ahead and filled that ball joint down there with grease. Did the other one the exact same way. And as far as front sway bar goes, and rear sway bar goes, that's it for replacing the actual links and bushings. So that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to do another video on probably the rear control arms and another one on the front. So we're going to go ahead and start working on the rear. If you want to catch that, go ahead and check out the next video. If not, thank you for watching. Subscribe.